Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new around these parts. Today's video is just a flip through of my entire bullet journal from 2025. So this was my journal for 2025. It served me very well. It was from Archer and Olive, and I loved the beautiful red color and all of the gold detailing on the front, which is what brought about the inspiration for my yearly setup theme. I kept it pretty simple, keeping it black and white with just the accents of the same red color as the front of the journal, and also adding in the framed element from the front. So I thought that was pretty cool. Kept it pretty simple with just some goals and general things that I knew I would actually fill out. Now, this theme for January was wintry cabins, and that is because I think at this month I was going to stay in a cabin. My sister got married, and something that my family loves to do is stay in cabins, and so that is what we did. And it was wintry and it was snowy. But moving on to February, this one I was very proud of. The theme for this I chose was lovebirds, which I thought was perfect for a Valentine's fun theme. And I did this ribbon font, which I really loved, and then I kept the birds pretty simple, just painting them in black and white or like a gray setup. And oh my gosh, look at these little penguins. I thought they were so cute. But you're gonna see the real deal of my journal. Obviously I'm blurring out some of the just more personal things of day to day and things like that, but oh my gosh, this theme I was obsessed with. Super March instead of Super Mario. I thought it was so cute. And this title page, y'all, I'm so proud of this. I grew up playing Mario, and this theme was just so nostalgic and so fun. I thought the calendar spread like you were going into a pipe down below into one of those dark worlds where there's a ton of boxes and like the evil characters. Oh, I was so proud of this theme. And then of course we have the weekly spread. But like I said, you'll see the random pages that I don't necessarily write anything down or didn't continue with the theme necessarily, but you'll see where I still did my to-do list. April was cute. I have an obsession with ducks and geese related things. I have so many antiques that are duck or geese related. I mean, they kind of coincide, they kind of go hand in hand. You can see here I didn't even do my dailies. I didn't write out my to-do list for almost the entire month of April because that's just how it was sometimes, especially at that point in my life. I wasn't as busy as I am now. May, I typically do flowers. These ones were forget-me-nots or just blue flowers in general. You can also see I wrote like the best thing about my day for maybe a quarter of the month, just whenever I remembered, because again, that's just sometimes how it goes. By the way, at the very beginning, I think I put shows that I watch, like new ones, not ones that I'd necessarily rewatched in movies and stuff. So if you're super nosy, you can definitely pause and see what I've been watching and what I've been liking and things like that. And you can see here, these are just random pages in between that I didn't do anything on. For June, we did these fun squiggly lines, something very simple to where it didn't necessarily take me a lot of time, but the end result is still so satisfying and pretty. And I did these fun summer colors. Again, didn't write any best for this month, didn't write too many to-do lists either. But that's okay, we're keeping it real around here. This theme is actually what gave me my idea for a bullet journal for beginners theme ideas, which we'll come across later. But for July, we did cherries, and we did this fun green stripe background. Nothing perfect, but fun. Hey, I did better on my best this month than I did before. I did this Dutch door spread, which are some of my absolute favorites. But this is the theme ideas that I was talking about before. If you're a beginner and you want something super easy that's still gonna look cute, that's just focusing on line work, I thought that was pretty cool. This is a tester page where I'm testing different plaids and writing out packing lists. And then we move on to August, where I was obsessed with The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 that came out. And so loosely inspired by that. It was a beachy blue seashell theme. Nothing that like coincides necessarily with the show, but I was feeling the beach and I wanted to go to the beach, and I had a beach trip coming up, so that's why we chose this theme. I also messed up a lot in this one right here, which is why I colored those in on the side, but we'll just skip over that. September's I really loved as well. I thought it was super cozy, and again, it was very fun to make. My best page I was so proud of, because it was a book, like an antique book, and you could open it, and it was just like a cafe and a bookstore, so cozy reading, coffee, all of those things. This one took me quite a while. This is one of those themes where it took me a decent amount of time. I even did little books up here for my weekly spreads and things like that that opened. Like, I thought it was pretty clever. But we are moving on. I loved October. I love spooky season. It's my favorite season. And this one is my favorite. I want to say one of my favorites. I just love little ghosties. And they're in their own frame and they're each doing their own activity. If you pause and look at this one, I mean, of course, he's in pumpkins, flying a broom. One of them is like carved a pumpkin, and so they have a knife in its hand, and I just think that's so cute. This one has a latte. This little ghostie just made cookies. I think that was it. I think that's all the ghosties, but this was my November spread, and I did not film this because I just made it for myself very quickly, and it wasn't very fun. But moving on to December, again, a more simple spread, not necessarily my favorite, but I was going through a lot at this time, and it was just, life was so busy and so much, but still cute with greeting cards and things like that. But that is it for my entire bullet journal spread. I had a few pages left over at the end. That happens sometimes. Sometimes I don't have enough pages, but that is the entire bullet journal from 2025.